play this record as frequently as possible.
Welcome to Hard Hats and Hootenanny's 8th episode. Today we have a special guest and all the way from the States. We're doing this on Zoom. Welcome to the show. I don't know what to call you, but let's call you something.
Yo, 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 what it is. What it is.
So my guest today, I've known for a long time, very long time actually. Became better friends towards the end of high school, I guess, maybe not in high school. I can't really remember, but he currently lives in the States. He's from Canada. So do you want to tell us a little bit about how you went about moving to the States? What made you decide?
Yeah. Well, the wife had a big part in that, but I came to the States originally to play hockey and moved to Vermont, and that was about the time like the crash, the whole real estate market crash was going on here. So to come to the States was actually really affordable as far as like a monetary standpoint. But then as things kind of progressed as far as with the wife, we just kind of figured that staying in the States would be the best option. I mean, weather wise and opportunity wise, it just kind of seemed to be the best fit at the moment. So here we are.
Yeah, so you moved to Vermont, then you moved all over the place actually, right? You moved to Minneapolis and then
Yeah,
to your current location.
I was in Vermont for about 4 years and then went to Minneapolis for a couple of years, and now we're down south.
Down south soaking in the heat, big heat
Yeah,
wave.
yeah.
That doesn't give it away. But so playing hockey like in Vermont, what level hockey would you say that is? Like at college level?
Yeah, it's so, and I was confused by this too when I was in juniors trying to look around, and and people were contacting me to go play. So the level I played was NCAA Division three, and they like I had contacts from different coaches calling me from. They would say, "Oh, we're ACHA Division one," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." In my mind, Division one is kind of where you want to go and play. That's like where,
That's top league.
yeah, like where all the NHL draft picks are coming from. But ACHA, I didn't know this at the time, is like club hockey. So it's so it's like
Oh,
um so I was like, what the hell is this? And I tried to do some more research on it. I kind of figured it out. It's pretty confusing. Like there's NCAA Division one, two, and three. One is obviously the best. Two is kind of where it gets confusing, but as far as my understanding of it, Division two, like we had some teams in our division that were Division two hockey schools, and that just basically means that they have a Division one program at their school. So they played in our league against Division three teams for the season, but then at the end of the season for their championship, they would play other Division two schools for whatever reason. There was only like a handful of them, so it was really weird in that regard. And then Division three is just Division three, like your whole school is Division three sports. But then some of the bigger schools, like here at the school here in our state, and then like all the bigger schools too, like for example, University of Wisconsin, they have the Division one NCAA program. Then they'll have like a ACHA or whatever the hell they call it,
oh,
like club. So you have to pay to play, but there's level one, two, and three of that too. So it's kind of confusing that way, but that's what I know about it.
okay.
So yeah.
it's still very confusing to me, like all these
Well, yeah.
acronyms.
Yeah, it is. Like those, like ACHA is a conference. Like we played out of the NEHC conference. Well, and then they fucking rename them every other year. So now it's like the um New England Conference, or I don't know what the hell they call it now, but it's like every other season they were adding and changing teams and changing the name of your conference, and um I don't know. It was
But
kind of
who the heck is in charge of this shit?
yeah, I don't really know, but it sounds like a shit show to me.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, oh fuck. Like, well, back in the day, I think I played one season of hockey with you, and I am not good. Like, currently playing old timers, like up in a small town. But what's funny about the old timers is that they're not even old. Like, I'm playing against like ex AAA guys and another guy who played junior in the city. So they're actually kind of good. Just like fuck, but like they're all older now, but um, so they don't have
Yeah,
as much gas as before. But they
they're just
definitely,
out there to stretch the legs and drink 8 beers and then go home.
yeah, that's literally it. Like, I'm playing against these guys, like they're younger than me, but they're they put 100% effort in like first period. And then you could definitely tell they start slowing down hard. Like last game I played this Thursday, I paced myself. So in the beginning, like I had to go hard in certain, situations, but I kind of just paced myself, played position, and noticed that these guys were like 100% skating every time. And there's not a lot of change on the bench. So third period they were gassed, and I still had like at least 50% left. So I was like, all right.
Well, it's kind of the same like here when I play beer league, it's like if you get a team with younger guys, they're just buzzing around all over the ice and trying to,
Show off and
oh
stuff.
yeah, trying to dangle and go through everyone. But I mean, they're not that good, so they so they fuck it up. But then they use all their energy. Well, then by the third period, if we get up a couple goals, then they just give up, which is the worst too, because you're trying to play still, but they're just like,
No energy to chase or something like that.
yeah, they just don't give a shit anymore. But
That's so
um,
funny. Like, I wonder what their mentality is. Like, it's just like beer league and old timers ain't going to the show. Like this is just for fun.
yeah, exactly. You gotta just, you're there to have some beers, and then a hockey game is right before it. So you just
Yeah, exactly.
you hop out there. But the one
Yeah.
thing the one thing that we have to watch out, I don't know about how it is in your league there, but the one thing we have to watch out for here is the old guys that don't really know how to control their stick, or or their body for that matter. Like there'll be times where I'll be skating up the ice and I see a guy skating right at me, and it's almost like he doesn't know how to stop, or he doesn't know what to do, and he just like, oh shit, it runs into me. I'm
Oh
like, what
my
the
God.
fuck? Like, there's no
Well,
hitting.
the guys I play with, there's like a handful of older guys, and I'd say they're like 40, a handful of guys that are like 40 to 50, maybe a little older. And like one of the guys plays D. I played with him a couple games ago, and he's pretty good actually. Like he plays a good position and knows how to pass and stuff. And so he's pretty good. And then like there's another old guy, I think one of the guys who runs the team. He's actually pretty good too. Like not a lot of out of control old people, that's for sure.
Well,
But I
yeah,
have played with those type of people. Like I think I played old timers.
at the Highlander probably.
Well, the Highlander, yeah, but where was another small town just to the west of our hometown? I played with of our buddy's dad who invited, and he went to, and
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Did I go to one of those
yeah, you
skates?
did. I think you came with me once, and those that had out of control old guys.
Yeah, that was bad. And then they were pissed at me because I never came off.
Well, yeah, because it's like you're like elite hockey shape at the time, and fucking don't get tired because the pace is so slow compared to what you're usually normally play.
Yeah, yeah, that was good.
That was funny, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't get another invite after that.
Yeah, I was gonna say didn't get the invite. So
Uh, on the topic of hockey, you actually played some pretty decent level hockey here in Canada and had some mishaps happen with hazing. Do you want to touch a bit about that, or?
yeah, no, that's totally cool. So basically when I was playing juniors, there was an incident where a kid, as far as what I know, what I heard was a kid on our team. Well, let me back this up, I guess. So the rookies on your hockey team or whatever, if they have certain duties like pick up the pucks, or some of them had to do laundry or whatever. And if they didn't do that, they'd get a fine. So it'd be like $1 or $2 or whatever. Well, at this time, the captain of the team, he was kind of losing control of like the rookies. They were just kind of doing whatever, and they weren't paying their fines, uh, and so this idea came about that instead of paying money, because nobody has money when you're playing junior hockey,
Oh, hell no.
the idea was, well, we're just gonna kind of do this embarrassing thing as your punishment. And so you had to tie a little skate lace around your nuts and then, and then tie it to like some skates, or like a bucket with pucks, or like something weighted at the end. And then they'd like kind of tow it around the room in a circle, and then that's the end of it. It is more embarrassing than anything. Like, it didn't hurt anyone. There was no physical damage being done.
Yeah.
After the guys did it, everyone kind of had a laugh and went home. So at the time, nobody thought anything of it. But I guess from what I heard was he told his girlfriend about this, and then the girlfriend told, I don't know, her parents, and her parents told the kids' parents, and I don't know, a chain of telephone, I guess, and the word got back to the team about it, and they were kind of telling him that he should kind of report hazing or whatever, and so he made this big stink about hazing, and and then it just blew up the team. Like, the coach was investigated, and the league was investigating, and
Oh,
like the
big news article was written.
oh my
Huge.
god.
Like
Yeah,
national news.
yeah, I have a picture of like TSN Jay Onright or something with the team logo there, and they were talking about it. And that's the thing about the media in any, like,
Oh yeah.
regarding anything, is they just blow things out of proportion, and you can spin people's words so easily. And one of the guys on the team tried to have an interview with some local news station, and he was like, it's just part of hockey. We didn't really think we were doing anything wrong. Like, I was a rookie at one point. I did this stuff. It doesn't hurt you. It's more just humiliating. It's not a big deal. And then you
Becoming
get,
part of the team kind of thing.
yeah, you fucking get over it. Like,
It's not
I
personal.
no, it's just kind of like, oh, you didn't do your duties. Let's just do this funny thing real quick, and then you're done. But no, it was like apparently the worst thing this kid's ever went through in his life, apparently. So the guy who did the interview tried to explain all of this, how it's like not really a big deal. Well, holy shit, when this kind of article came out, they cut little snippets of what he was saying, and kind of, how they
Oh,
would like pan away, and the interviewer would say, oh, and he just thinks it was perfect what they were doing, and he's
oh
uh
yeah. Just
on
a big hit article.
yeah, it was just bullshit. And so um at this time, I was actually at home waiting to get traded, so I didn't really know what was going on. And then people started messaging me and calling me for an interview.
Oh
But
my God.
this guy who had done the interview, I saw it come out, and there's no fucking way I'm gonna start talking about this stuff, because it doesn't matter what you say, they're gonna spin it into, oh, he's a bad guy and he agrees that they should have tied some skates to his nuts or whatever. It was a shit show. And so they the commissioner did like a little investigation and kind of cracked down and suspended um the leadership group of the team, I guess, and or the older guys really. So I got a suspension, and 3 or 4 other guys got suspensions, but one of the guys who was a bigger part of it didn't even get suspended. And I was kind of bitching at the commissioner, like, well, what the fuck's going on here? Like, what, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of seemed like, oh, we have to hand out the suspension to somebody. So, here you go. But I
Wow.
mean,
Whatever
like,
whatever
okay.
happened to that guy? Like the team morale after that, like did after the suspension was over, was he still on the team?
No, I think he left the team because obviously everyone is
Oh fuck. That would be
pissed.
so, oh, you'd get
Well,
bullied hard.
well, yeah, because then you're like, you can't trust this kid. You can't say anything around him because he's gonna go telling
And
his
yeah,
girlfriend everything and telling, I don't know, his parents. Like, um, I mean, some of the shit that, not on that team, but other teams that I heard of guys doing is like way worse, but nobody said anything because you're all,
yeah, you're the boys, like,
yeah, you're young men. It's not like it was one of those hazing things where they're sticking broomsticks up people's asses. Like that's kind of fucked up.
yeah,
But I don't know. This thing was
yeah.
kind of blown out of proportion in my eyes, but yeah, I don't know. He left the team and he went and played somewhere else. I can't remember where, and then I don't know whatever happened to him.
Just fell off the face of the earth. Like nobody would, dude, after all that, and like, so every team would have heard about that by now.
Oh yeah.
There's no way he could go to another junior team and that the guys on those teams would be just, oh.
Well, the thing is, it's one of those like, I don't so if the guy comes on your team as a PR person, you would think like, oh yeah, this is good. We're gonna help support him, and we are here supporting the cause of no hazing in hockey. But I guarantee you, whatever team he played on, the boys were like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not talking to this kid, or I'm not telling this kid anything because
Yeah, like he'd have no friends. He'd be an outcast.
yeah, because like you tell him something, he's gonna go squealing to mommy and daddy or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Like so if I like he told his girlfriend and then his girlfriend went off the rails.
I think
Like
so. That's what I
did he even want that to happen? Like not to defend him or anything, but
see.
was he just like gloating about what happened in the change room and then
I don't.
other
I don't
outside
know.
sources?
No, you know what? I don't know because he sure as hell went along with it as soon as they started. You know, unless his parents kind of influenced him to go to the media and kind of ride the bandwagon. But
How dare
uh,
they do this to our son?
well, yeah, he sure as hell didn't say, "Dad, it's not a big deal, whatever." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so he was probably right along with it,
What a
on that
pleb.
side. Pleb. He is a pleb.
I know we talking a lot about hockey here, but let's let's maybe get into your work life. So when you went to the States for college or university, what were you taking?
I was doing exercise science, so it's the same as like kinesiology in Canada.
Yeah.
Same idea.
So with that, but you didn't really follow that too much. Well, unless like, do you do sports injuries at work?
Yeah, we do. It's all,
Okay.
like there's people who like specialize in it, I guess, or they kind of build themselves a little niche as far as that's how they built their practice, but I mean, we see sports injuries all the time, but we see everything under the sun, really. We're not going to turn someone away just because they have something that, oh, I don't think I'm really good at this. I mean, I try and help them as much as I can.
Yeah, for sure. Like, well, like even with that, like you guys get paid pretty good from what I think you've told me. It's very nice.
Yeah, and that's the misconception though. Um, yes, I would say that we get paid well, but you also have a bunch of student loans.
Oh
So
yeah.
so I
You're
mean,
still paying for that?
oh yeah, I mean, I'll be paying that for years to come.
Oh man.
So it's like it's a decent job, but a lot of it goes to my student loans. Um, and then, yeah, we still have money left over, but I guess the real payout is down the road when you pay off your student loans. Then you kind of are really
Yeah, you're really making the dollar.
raking it in. Yeah, it's kind of like an investment, really. Um, Investing in yourself is the best way to
Yeah, for
describe
sure.
it. So, like when other blue collar guys are making X amount of money, um, add like I don't know what it would be, $1,200 a month on student loans
Yeah, if I had to pay twelve hundred
coming out of
dollars a
there.
month, like if I
Yeah,
that's what I pay for rent, for fuck's sakes.
yeah. So that's kind of the trade-off is really like if I was lucky enough to have, some people's parents paid for their entire schooling, and I'm like, holy shit,
Oh well, yeah, like
they'd be ahead of the game right now. But um,
I feel like that's probably, well, at least in our friend group, like that's nobody for the
no,
most part.
no, and some of it too, like you gotta eventually just be like, okay, I'm gonna take this on myself. I'm an adult. This is my adult choice. You're not gonna be like, mommy, daddy, pay for my school,
Yeah.
like, and it's not like going to a little, community college or anything like that. Like it's a lot of money, and you're not working at that time either because the schooling is like a full-time job.
Oh yeah. Well, and like I'm sure your parents helped out a little. I know mine did. Like when I went to school, like I went to school originally, I took business, and then my parents paid for that. And then
Oh, is
I
that is
I
that where you and the boys just played COD all day?
yeah, towards the end, because it was like I wasn't doing good, like I was failing a lot of courses, and I just didn't really like it. So I ended up just quitting like after the first quarter of the year. Like it started in September and I quit by December.
Well, that's actually smart. That's smart because why the hell would you get yourself into bigger debt just to get to the end and be like, "Oh, I don't like this."
Yeah, like
Like there's some kids that go to school. So like in Canada, schooling is cheap, although people think it's expensive.
oh yeah,
Fuck, there's some
compared to the
there's some
States.
school. Yeah, there's some schools here. It's 50 grand a year.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the heavy diesel course. Like I can't remember what school, but it was like 25,000 for the first semester. Like holy fuck. And it's a
Yeah,
4-year thing.
yeah.
And you
Well,
don't
and then
even
you
make that
think,
much there in the States as a heavy diesel. Well, you can, but it's like you got to really look for it and hope you get hired.
yeah,
Like
it's a
coming out with no,
specialized thing.
yeah, like when I started out of school, I applied everywhere. There's not a lot of places that want to hire a level one apprentice. It's hard to find a job because you have no experience, literally none. So like I applied and I definitely got fortunate with getting my first job at a dealer, and I stuck with them for a number of years, 8 in total. So, and then I bounced around in a few different jobs, but yeah, I got lucky there. But like I applied like one job, I wanted to work at Caterpillar really bad with a friend of mine because they were getting paid good, and in the long run, knowing what I know now, I kind of wish I tried a little harder to get in there, but because pay wise it's more, but I'm not
Yeah.
regretting anything I've done because I make decent money now, be able to
Yeah.
support myself. But yeah, like I sent in resumes everywhere. A lot of places wouldn't even call me or anything, and it's hard as a level nothing. Even as a level 2 or 3, 3 maybe not so much, but level 2 is like basically the same difficulty to get a job as level 1, because yeah, you might have a little bit of experience, but you still know nothing. You're kind of worthless to
Yeah,
them.
they just want somebody who has experience who can pop in and just start working, and they don't want to hold your hand and show you what
Oh
to do,
yeah.
right? Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things where you have to, like, if you were going to hire like, does this happen a lot in like your profession? Is you do the apprenticeship thing, or you start out somewhere and then you eventually, like, you just stay there, or you stay on as a full-time guy? Is that like a thing or no?
Mm, say that again.
Well, I guess because I'm thinking of it in the terms of like my work. Usually people do their schooling, the last bit of it, at somebody's office. And then when they get licensed and they're out of school, that office will hire them on because they are familiar with it and all that kind of stuff.
So what happens, well, it's different now, and it changed when I was doing my apprentice. Like, so in the beginning, normally what you do is you would go, like, I did my pre-employment, so I got level 1 out of that. And then you go to work, and then you work a certain amount of hours, like about a year's worth of hours, and then you go to school again, and then
Oh
you're
yeah.
gone for well, back then it's different now. I don't know what it is now, but level 2 is 2 months. So you get laid off and you collect EI, you go to school, and then they hire you back.
Oh, okay.
And then you go work another year. But when it changed for me, I was able to do schooling, and then after schooling go back to work, and then immediately do another level, and then go to work for a little bit, and then finish that off, and then just finish it, the working hour portion, like at work.
Oh, okay. So like you're even saying like to start as a level one and then do your schooling, people don't even want those people.
No. So
Did
like just to get, like, so what happens is you finish your pre-employment's 10-month course. Once
Yeah.
you pass that, and you have to have an average of 70 and up, and you have to pass everything. You can't just fail one thing and pass something else, and you don't get it. But then you get your accreditation for level 1. So instead of, like, our mutual buddy that's an electrician, he didn't really do that. He just went to work and then worked his way up. You could
Yeah.
definitely do it that way. It's just it's probably cheaper to do it that way, but a lot harder, because you got to find a company that wants to take you. And especially for him, because there's so many electricians in this province, it's you know he he'll just get bumped out because of the union. So if
Yeah.
someone with a level higher than him wants a job, he's out. So it's hard for him. But at the time, for him, he was lucky. There, wasn't a huge interest in electrician, and not some massive wait time like before.
Yeah. Well, I think he just needed to try and get a job to work in order to make some money to afford playing hockey 9 times a week.
Yeah. Oh, on the topic of him, I'm supposed to have him on with another friend of mine, like a triple header. So hopefully that works out. And I did message him, but he never got back to me. I'll have to
Well,
message him
yeah.
again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know how it is with him.
Yeah.
He never reaches out first, and you always got to reach out 6 or 7 times, and even then it's kind of hard to get him on the line.
Yeah. So to kind of wrap up this podcast, because we're running out of time, we probably got about 5 more minutes. We'll just touch on, like, while you were going to college and coming back to Canada, you had some pretty crazy odd jobs in the meantime in the summer. Like, I know you worked at a graveyard. That's freaking crazy. First of all, I would never work in a graveyard. Well, I guess it was during the day.
Yeah. No, so I was actually laughing with my dad about this the other day because did I ever tell you when I worked at the, I don't know what the hell you'd call it, the box making plant or whatever? Um
I know what
ma
you're talking about, but I've
making making boxes for the mint. like
Yeah.
that they put the change in. So I was laughing about this the other day because I said, it's going to be so nice, being my own boss and stuff, because I fucking hated my time there. I only spent 2 weeks there until I quit, because the everyone in there is just dumber than shit. And that's their life. Like, that's where they thrive, being in such a sedentary, mindless job. Like, I didn't leave a 3 foot by 3 foot square for 8 hours of the day sitting
Yeah.
there, fucking
Just boring.
nailing these boxes. So that was one. And then I quit that, and I think I started working with Culligan Water, delivering water.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah. You did that for a couple years, I think, didn't you?
there was a couple summers I did that, and then I came back one summer and they weren't hiring anymore. And so I was like, oh fuck, what am I gonna do? I looked, there was a landscaping position, and they didn't say like cemetery or graveyard. Like, it just the company that put it on was like a bigger company, and it said nothing about cemetery. So I went for the interview, and yeah, right, driving through to the back of the cemetery, I'm like, where the fuck am I?
No.
And so I ended up working at the graveyard, doing landscaping. So basically just weed whacking around every headstone. And apparently this was the second largest cemetery in Canada. So it would
That's
take us a
crazy.
week. Yeah, it would take us there. I don't know. There was like 7 or 8 summer employees. We would weed whack every headstone. And it would take us a full week to get done. And then by the end of the week, you would kind of just start over again and go to the other end,
Wow.
start weed whacking. And, they had other full timers that would trim the grass and stuff. But eventually the guys got comfortable with me working there, and they let me do like backhoe work,
Nice.
driving a tractor around, spraying, I don't know what it was, chemicals or pesticides or something.
Oh yeah, like keep the weeds down from the tombstones or something.
Yeah. But the crazier things was the first time, like, you go into the crematorium and they're just like tossing bodies
Oh
into the
God. You
crematorium.
like
And
you
it's just
saw
like,
bodies.
yeah. Well,
Oh
and
my.
so the grossest one was they had bodies from the U of M that they were cadavers, like cutting them up and stuff. But they don't send them in a wooden box. They send them in a fucking cardboard box. So all the like
Oh.
juices come out and they make the cardboard all soggy. And then yeah, like they kind of fall out of the box.
What the fuck? That's like very like
Yeah,
you think that's like
it's
someone's loved one and they're just here's a box and cremate them.
yeah, exactly. I was pretty shocked about that myself, but
That's fucked. Oh
you just kind of become numb to it after a while.
yeah. Oh, and then you also worked for another buddy of ours.
Oh yeah.
There's one
Tim John.
situation, yes. There's one situation I want you to talk about, and that's that lunchtime fiasco.
Yeah, so well, I know he was already on explaining it, and he did a pretty good job of explaining it properly. I would have to agree with everything he said, but it was just funny because he's in the office grinding away, and you could tell he was pissed, but there's nowhere else to fucking eat my lunch. So I ate at his desk like every day before that. And so I guess this day he was getting a little agitated at the computer, and I'm sitting there kind of eating like a sandwich. So it's not overly noisy, but I guess in a silent office you can kind of hear anything. And he just turns around. Says, would you shut the fuck up?
And it's funny to see him
What?
like I've never really seen him mad, like like
No,
actually angry.
that was the first time I think I'd ever seen him pissed. And I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of just like took my lunch and went out into the fucking shop and ate my lunch.
Like, well, fuck you then.
Yeah, but no, it was actually fun working for him, and it was pretty simple stuff that I was doing. But as far as hiring friends, you gotta keep in mind that that was his business, and I'm not there to dick around. It's when it's time to
Yeah,
work, you got to work. But that
exactly.
sandwich story was fucking good. Still laugh about that.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna wrap up the episode here. Zoom actually wants you to pay for if you want to record longer than however long we've been recording for, and we have less than a minute, so I got to wrap this up.
All right, quick pay. I got another story.
Well,
Just kidding.
no. Uh, all right. So we'll
Put
wrap
some
her up.
quarters in the machine.
Yeah, no kidding. So thanks for coming on, and so fucking Zoom cut me off, and that's the end of the episode. So if you guys want to listen to it, it'll be up tonight. Well, I guess you'll listen to this, but anyways, we're wrapping it up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for when I post new episodes. I'll be posting this on YouTube as well. Hard Hats and Hootenanny on YouTube, and yeah, rate. And I do have a website. I'm not going to spell it out in here, but it's on every description and everything you listen on, including my YouTube. So have a good night. Thanks.